Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Good day to all of us. Ako po si Deborah Garcia and welcome to another series of lesson where you will learn not just the theories and form of the language but also the function and the usage. But before you watch this lesson, please make sure that you've already watched the previous series with 18 lessons in it. I put the link of the first lesson in the description box below because in that series, I discussed all the major theories to understand the Filipino language from the very basic to the advanced level. So if you're ready, grab your pen and paper and let us learn all about conversational Filipino. In the first lesson, we talked about the things that we usually do after we wake up in the morning. And this one is the continuation. So today we are going to talk about eating breakfast. I listed down 9 verbs on the board that are related to the topic eating breakfast. So the first one is drink. So drink in Filipino is inom. Okay? Eat, kain. Sit down, upo. Leave, alis. So there are 2 kinds of leave here. Leave with when I go somewhere, so I leave, I would say alis. But if I leave something, I would say iwan. So for example, if I leave my pen here, I won't say alis, and I would say iwan. Okay? Now, the next one is dip, sausaw. Read, basa. Talk, usap. And wipe, punas. Now, these are the root verbs. I really want to discuss the conjugation for each tense. However, we won't have enough time for that. For today, to translate these sentences in the picture, we are just going to focus on the present tense of the verbs. Studying the verb tenses in Filipino is supposed to be easy because we only have the simple tenses. We don't have perfect tenses and we don't have progressive tenses. What we only have are the simple future, simple present, and simple past. So this one is just the present form of these verbs. Don't worry, at the end of the video, as I said earlier, I am going to give you a slide showing the conjugation of the verbs from simple past, simple present, and simple future, including the imperative form, and I am going to put in the rules or the pattern and how to conjugate them as well. Okay, so for now, let's focus on this one. We'll start with the drink. Drink is inom. Look at the present form, umiinom. So where did we get this word? Our root verb is inom. It's right there. Is one of the affixes that we use. This is supposed to be an infix. It means it is put in between the letters of the root verb. However, because inom starts with a vowel, then you cannot insert anymore. You need to put will become a prefix. So it is put in the beginning. Now we have an extra I here. The root verb looks like iinom, but actually the root verb is still inom. We got the extra I here from the future tense of the verb inom, which is iinom. So iinom plus in the beginning, it'll become umiinom. That's the present form. Now, number 2, kain. Kain has the same prefix. Oh no, where? Here. It's not a prefix, it's an infix. So because kain starts with the K, it's a consonant, so you can insert the here. It will become kumakain. The root verb is kain. Now we have an extra K and extra A there. Where did you think we get that? We get this. So the root verb looks like kakain, but actually that's not the root verb. It's from the future tense of the word kain. So kakain plus inserted here. So the present form will become kumakain. Okay? Third one, sit down is upo. Upo, it starts with a vowel again. So same as with this one, inom, you cannot insert the So you will put it in the beginning. It'll become umuupo. The root verb is upo. You have an extra there. The first syllable of the root verb upo That's how you form the future tense of the verb upo. It's uupo. You repeat the first syllable, and then when you put in the beginning, then it'll become the present form umuupo. Leave is alis. Now, it's an verb as well. Starts with a vowel, so you can't insert the you'll put it in the beginning, and your root verb is aalis. You have an extra a there because this is the future tense of the verb alis, aalis. You put it'll become umaalis. Okay? Leave or iwan. This is not an verb, it's an in verb. Now we use another affix here. So leave iwan, it'll become iniiwan. Kinda the same as the You put it in the beginning. The root verb is iwan. You have an extra I here. Iiwan is the future tense of the verb iwan. So iniiwan is the present form. Dip is sausaw. This is an in verb as well. So this is our infix, and then the root word is sausaw. Now there's an extra S and A there. Sa sausaw. Sa sausaw is the future tense as well of the verb. Now, next one, basa. It's not the same as this because these verb here, read and talk and wipe. So basa, usap, punas are actually, we call them the mag verb because the future tense of this verb has the mag as the prefix. So future is mag, and then we repeat the first syllable of the root verb. Magbabasa, mag-uusap, magpupunas. But when you form their present tense, you change mag to nag. So it'll become like this. Nagbabasa. Same root verb, basa, and you repeated the first syllable of the root verb, ba. So nagbabasa. Next one is nag-uusap. You repeated this one as well. And then nagpupunas, you repeated the first syllable, pu. So present root verb inom, present form umiinom. Root verb kain, present form kumakain. Upo is umuupo. Alis, umaalis. Iwan, iniiwan. Sausaw, sinasawsaw. Basa, nagbabasa. Usap, nag-uusap. And punas is nagpupunas. Now let's go to the sample sentences. Now let us translate these sentences in Filipino. Remember that Filipino sentences, when it's conversational, it would always start with the verb. That's why in the first part of the lesson, we always start with familiarizing the verbs and how to conjugate them because we always start with them, okay? So the first one, Pam and Dan sit down. So Pam and Dan sit down. And as I mentioned earlier, in Filipino language, our verb is not affected with the number of the subject, okay? So if it's singular and plural, never mind that. What you need to focus on is how to conjugate the tenses. This is the present tense, so the picture uses all present form of the sentences. So sit down, what is sit down again in the present form? Umuupo, right? Umuupo. So we'll start with our verb, sit down. So we will say, why did I not leave a space here? So we'll start with the verb, umuupo. Si, we always use the word si because that's the topic maker, personal topic maker in the Filipino language. Umuupo, because in English, Pam and Dan were mentioned separately. So we could say, umuupo si Pam at si Dan, okay? Umuupo si Pam at At in Filipino is and. So, umuupo si Pam at si Dan. Or, we can also say in Filipino, we say, umuupo sina. We use this word, sina, instead of si, because this one, you use si when you are just introducing one person. But since there are two of them, you can say, umuupo sina Pam at Dan. So you won't mention them separately anymore. Alright? Number 2, Pam drinks some coffee. I forgot to mention coffee in Filipino is kape. Okay? Kape. So Pam drinks some coffee. So our verb is drinks. What's drinks again? In present form of the verb, drink is inom. Present form, umiinom. Right? If you took down notes. So, umiinom. We will start with umiinom. Umiinom ng kape. Ng kape. That's how you spell kape. It's coffee. Umiinom ng kape. Who? Si Pam. There. Umiinom ng kape si Pam. Alright, number 3. She eats some cereal. So remember in the previous lesson, I said he or she, it's just the same. What do we use? Siya, right? Siya or siya. This one. Siya, or you pronounce it as siya. So she eats some cereal. We don't have an equivalent for the word cereal in the Philippines. So we also use cereal. So eats is our verb. What is eats? In Filipino, present tense is kumakain. Right? So we'll start with kumakain. Kumakain. Who? She. Right? So we'll put this. Kumakain siya. Kumakain siya ng cereal. There you go. Alright. Actually, in Filipino, cereal is not a common breakfast. We eat rice. The most commonly eaten breakfast in the Philippines, if you have money, this one. Tapsilog. It is composed of 3 things. This is our breakfast. Here, Dan has egg, bacon, and toast. Another regular breakfast for the Westerners. But for Filipinos, we have tapsilog. 3 things. Tapa is beef. Si is for sinangag or fried rice. And then log is the itlog or the egg. So we call it tapsilog. Tapa, sinangag, itlog. Tapa is a fried beef. We slice it really thinly and then we marinate them and then we fry them. That's tapa. Okay? So, yeah, let's just imagine that Pam is eating not cereal. We'll say tapsilog. Maybe we can change that to tapsilog. Kumakain siya ng tapsilog. Okay? Same with Dan. Okay, he has egg with bacon and toast. But we need to translate this one in Filipino. Our verb is has. It's not listed in the verb because this is an auxiliary verb. Has. We translate that as meron. In spoken or conversational Filipino, we say meron. But in written Filipino, we spell this or we say this as mayroon. Okay? Mayroon. We are not going to use this because we are learning conversational Filipino, so we'll say meron. We'll start with the verb as well. Meron. So meron, who? They use he here. He and she are just the same, right? Siya, meron siyang or meron siyang, we can spell that out. Where did we get this? It's just the same as this one. It's nang. Nang. It's a connector. Okay? So meron siyang, because we cannot say meron siya nang. No. We connect the ng here. So meron siyang itlog. Egg is itlog. Meron siyang itlog. Bacon. We are not very specific with this one. So we can say meron siyang itlog na may bacon. That's with na may. But we won't complicate things. We'll just say meron siyang itlog, comma, bacon, because we don't have a translation for bacon. So meron siyang itlog, bacon, at toast. Or this is very specific. It's a toast, like we toast the bread. But in the Philippines, we can just say tinapay for bread. Toast or tinapay. We can use toast or we can use tinapay. The most commonly used one is tinapay because we don't really toast our bread there. We can just buy them from the bakery, fresh from the bakery, and it's hot. The very popular kind of bread in the morning is the pan de sal. This one. Pan de sal. Pan de sal. Okay, that's our tinapay. So we don't toast them. They're being put in a brown bag, hot, fresh from the oven, and we buy them in the bakery. And the bakeries in the Philippines open around 4 a.m. Very early. So we can always buy fresh bread. All right, this one. He dips his toast into the egg. He again, so we'll use this one again. Dips is our verb. Dips is sinasawsaw. Present form, sinasawsaw, right? So we'll start with this one. Sinasawsaw. So, sinasawsaw. He is supposed to be siya. But since the focus of the sentence is the object, we are going to change siya from siya, we'll make it into niya. We'll change S to N. Sinasawsaw niya. So it's Dan doing the action still, but the focus of the sentence is the thing that Dan is dipping into the egg. So sinasawsaw niya ang toast. The toast is the one that gets dipped into the egg, right? So sinasawsaw niya ang tinapay. Where? Into the egg is sa itlog. In Filipino, in English, each preposition has its specific use. But usually for Filipinos, we just use in almost every prepositional phrase, we always use this one, sa. Okay, it could also mean to. It could also mean for. So we use this preposition sa. So sinasawsaw niya ang tinapay, the toast, sa itlog, into the egg. Now it's time for us to check your knowledge. So I am going to write 3 sentences on the board in English, and you need to translate them in conversational Filipino. But do not worry, I am going to underline the verbs, and I am going to give you the right affixes that you can use to conjugate the verbs. So that's all for today. I hope you learned something. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please watch out for the next lessons. See you again next time. Bye!